Welcome back to Jazz Unfiltered. Today I have Canary.
Hello, my friends.
I missed you.
I missed you too. I missed everybody. So coming back is slowly but surely has been very fun.
Yes, girl. I saw you on Warm Breezy. I was talking about me. I did watch the whole thing though. It was good. It was a good interview. I like Warm Breezy a lot.
I do too. I love him. He's great.
So today we have a very clickbaity topic, okay? Yes, I clickbaited y'all today, okay? Is women's wrestling dying, specifically WWE? What do you think? Let's just throw some thoughts out there.
Just going from watching the product for so long, I feel like it's going back to how it was before, where the women are kind of like an afterthought. They're the bathroom break. They're, I'm going to go do my content while they're wrestling type thing. It just pisses me off to no end. Like, we had this whole movement, even when Voldemort was in charge. We had this whole movement about women deserve better. We want the divas or whatever the hashtag was, or now it's women deserve better or WWE women deserve better. History always has, I can't talk today. Yes, exactly. History always repeats itself. And I'm seeing
last year, Becky said this. She kind of predicted this. She's like, we worked hard to not just be seen as like a commodity or meat or package, and it's kind of going back to that. The releases, we've had we released like all the tag girls, like what?
Yeah.
We destroyed or obliterated the tag teams. Are they not gonna do them anymore? Losing Katana and Hayden, losing those two, they were the best women's tag I feel like I've ever seen. They had the craziest, coolest moves. They used them like a few times and then never again. And I'm like, why? We liked it.
And that's my issue with being brought up from the developmental from NXT is, if you bring these women up, what are you going to do with them?
Yeah.
Like, do you have clear-cut storylines for them? Not half-assed, repeated storylines that we've seen several thousand times. The rookie wants to take out the vet. Like, we've seen that so many times. Like, we just saw it at WrestleMania with Tiffany versus Charlotte. Like, we just saw that.
Yep.
So I fully believe that it's dying because, one, the women aren't seen as, intense and as entertaining as the men are. The storylines, honestly, in my opinion, are kind of sexist, and I'm going to go there. Because Liv's storyline, as much as I love Dom and the whole Liv Dom stuff together, as much as I love them, I feel like Triple H is like, you know what? We haven't seen this type of storyline in such a long time. Let's bring her down from where she was before. And anybody who says that he brought her down, you can't say that he didn't, because he literally had her be champion and then brought her to the tag division and had her win the women's tag team championship, even though she is three-time women. Oh my God, I can't talk. 3 times women's tag team championship in the history. That's the first time. She could be so much more. She could have gone after Lyra. She could have gone after Chelsea. Like, she could have done so much more. Like, Triple H could have had her do so much more. Yeah. But he's like, no, we're going to have her be tag team champion again because it's safe and we know she's good at it. Like, put some thought into these storylines. Like, I'm going to even go ahead and say it. Like, they dropped the ball with the women. Like, it doesn't matter, like, what faction they're in. They're dropping the ball with them altogether.
Yeah. Even my girlfriend was like, people are getting mad. And my girlfriend's very easy to please when it comes to, like, watching wrestling. And she's, like, getting frustrated. She's like, these storylines don't make sense. And why use that person for that specific fight or that specific match when there are so many other people that would fit better in that match that we haven't seen? I understand it, and it kind of goes back to that. Is it the trends? What's big right now,
what's
right?
Popular.
More popular. And it kind of reminds me of like Roman Reigns and Jay. We think that their talent is good, right? But there are wrestlers that might even exceed some of the things that they can do. But because they're popular, because they're hot, because they're whatever, then they kind of get the advantage. It's kind of like pretty privilege, right? Right?
Yeah.
But and Jay's song, like, he's trending, so like they can do a trending move or like something that is easy to do and engages the audience, and boom, they're winning everything. So it's really not about the talent anymore as much, I guess.
No, it's not. So I agree with like just the whole topic in general. Like, is it a trend or is it like pure talent? Like in this day and age, Shawn Michaels said it verbatim. You can teach in-ring skill. You can't teach charisma. You can't teach character. Like, you can't teach personality. If you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't. And I think Triple H adapted that mindset too, because even to go as far as to say, like, bringing in celebrities.
Yes.
Like Travis Scott, I'm sorry. Like, you will always be Stormy Webster's dad to me. I'm sorry. But he's not needed, but he's only there for views and numbers and stuff like that because he knows he's dropping the ball with the women. So he's saying, let me make it up in some shape and form, and then people are still gonna watch.
To be fair, you know, when I look at like football, basketball, they'll have like Taylor Swift and like Kylie Jenner and like all these big stars go and do their appearances and stuff like that to be like, you know, watch this, watch football, watch basketball. So I understand, you know, they had Vanessa Hudgens show up. They had oh gosh, what is that guy? The country guy that is really tall. He took pictures with Liv. I forgot his name. He has like a little truck commercial.
Is it Benson Boone?
No, I can't remember him. He was in the stripper movie.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that.
I think of his name. I'll put it here if I can remember or whatever. But
I was gonna say because I don't remember.
But yeah, I mean they draw these people in to get people to watch. So they're attracting a lot of casual fans, is what I'm seeing Twitter people say. Casual fans, but they're fans of specific people and not actual wrestling. Yeah. So that's why, you know, we had, oh my God, it pissed me off so bad. The last women's tag match when we had Io, Rhea, and Julia and
Roxanne.
I couldn't think of it. I think it was Io and Roxanne did a really cool move. It could have been Julia. A really cool move where they like jumped at the top rope and it was dead silent. The lack of fan support, it really, really frustrates me because we need them to be hype and yelling and doing these things. And then it's like someone else does something very minor or like, you know, little. And it's like these huge pops because they're fans of that specific person and not women's wrestling. They're not really fans of wrestling or, you know, it's like, did y'all see that? They just did a really cool trick that was really difficult to do and you guys were silent. Like, and so that's the problem I think that we come across when you're just going for the trend and like trying to do what's viral in the moment. You attract a lot of people that are just interested in specific wrestlers instead of all of wrestling. And it leads us to like dead crowds, dead audiences, people not being interested in pushing the other women or, you know, pushing even the men, pushing other men, wrestlers that aren't as, you know, in the spotlight and stuff like that. It's just really frustrating because those women deserve to be cheered. They deserve the respect of, you know, their skills. There are a lot of talented women on the roster and they're just kind of being neglected. They're not being like shown. So I don't know what they need to do. I don't know if they need to like get on social media more, try to become viral, try to get out there, because that is what obviously they're pushing right now. It's like who's viral? Who's gonna bring in all the views? Who's gonna open us up to other countries and stuff like that? And I get it. I get the business of it, but then it's like there are women on there that will never get the respect. They get the
exactly.
They get the they're cute, but like, what about their skills?
What about their skill set? What about their move set? Like, sadly, think that Triple H goes off of that.
He does.
And off social media more so than he did before when he was just kind of in charge of creative. The storylines were great. So they made sense. Everything, every dot connected to everything. Like there was a reason, there was a purpose. Now it's like, what is this Easter egg for? Like we know there's like a 9 out of 10 chance they're not even going to use it. So what is this even here for? With the Wyatt Six, with Alexa Bliss, with the women as a whole, just dropping the ball altogether. And he just needs to do better. Like it needs to be equal. If you're going to say you're releasing someone due to age, you need to start doing that for the men too. You can't just say, oh, so-and-so's is 37, nearing 40, so they gotta go. Well, if that's the case, then you gotta get rid of Seth, you gotta get rid of Cody, you gotta get rid of Randy, like you gotta get rid of all the big names because they're older than the women. If you're gonna release due to age, then you need to do that all across the board. And that's where I have a huge problem with these releases is because I feel like they took specific things and they're like, okay, well they're gonna go because of this they're going to go because of that. You're picking and choosing whether or not you believe they're working hard. Like, what?
Yeah. Cora Jade, Gigi had that one feud, and then it was just like, boom, done. Like, what?
They were also on TNA. Like, they were also on Impact. So,
there must be something we don't know in the back. There must be something we don't know in practice or in the background. Because Sean, HBK, I feel like he does respect the women. I feel like he loves them. I don't know for a fact, but we know that he loves the women based on how he books them and how they, you know, the creative storylines that he gives them. Just some wild releases that I was not expecting. Shayna.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Sonya made that group interesting for a lot of people. What? Like, that's so crazy.
Yeah. Jakara Jackson, when she got released, like, oh my God, like, she was literally on TV the week prior. And then hearing her story and how she found out about it, literally just broke my heart. Because I'm like, you guys are literally, like, this company is just signing these people, and then they're putting them in catering, putting them on TV, and then literally ripping their dreams out from underneath them. Like, pardon my French, but that's up.
Right.
Like I get the business standpoint. You look at somebody at first and you're like, oh, they're going to be great for this company. They're going to take it very far. Like, I have such high hopes. But if you feel like that in the beginning, then you need to help that person get to that point. And from what I understand, WWE is like, okay, great. We got you to this point. We signed you. You're good. Now you take it from here. You got to do everything else. And it's like, wait. What?
Like I said, I don't know if I feel like in developmental, they probably more hands-on, but it is disappointing, I guess, as the fan to see so many releases of people that were so promising. If they were so bad, I guess, and had an attitude or didn't show up to practice, then why are they getting all these opportunities for us to see them and get a connection with them? You know, so it's like, if they're really not doing and performing good, or they're missing out on practice, they're not going to the shows or whatever, then don't give them these spots to where the crowd or audience will grow an attachment to them. You know, over time. So I kind of want to go back to the age just really quickly before we leave. But I think we've been seeing a lot of like vet versus the up and coming, and the up and coming are like really taking over, which I know that that's what the fans have been wanting and stuff, but historically it has always been the vet kind of gets the one up on them at first, at least, right? Before they can take over. But there is some kind of ageism stuff going on too, where it's like, oh, well, we don't want them. They're old. They're used up. You know, they're been over here for too long. Let's get someone else. And it's just like, do y'all say that about Randy Orton? Do y'all say that about John Cena? Freaking WrestleMania, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. That match was abysmal. It was so bad. Y'all wanted John Cena to win over Cody Rhodes, who has been our leader for like a year and a half or whatever. He has been on the road nonstop, putting his all into the company. I know we're talking about men right now, but I just don't get it. With the men, age doesn't matter. It almost makes them a legend. But for women, age makes them, you know, oh, they need to leave. They need to retire. They need to go. What? So like
Becky Lynch, Becky Lynch said it best. Like, why is our age a conversation, but theirs isn't?
Yeah.
I saw that quote, and there are things that she says that I agree with, and then there are things that she says that I don't agree with. But what she said about, you know, the whole ageism thing, I 110% agree with. Like, if you're going to start talking about our age and how we're getting up there and how we might be slowing down, then you need to say the same thing about the men. It needs to be equal. And it's not, especially in the wrestling world. Like, men are favored more so than the women. Women have to do more in the wrestling world. And that's what I wish people would understand. Women have to do more to be seen, to be heard, to be noticed. To be the forefront.
Especially, and as much women of color.
Exactly. Women of color especially have, you know, I'm of course not a person of color, but I see it more often than not that they have it worse than everybody else.
Look at Bianca Belair. I mean, she's literally one of the top wrestlers, athletes in the world. And honestly, she probably, to me, she's one of the best, if not the best, in the ring. And people turn on her out of,
Yeah.
favoritism. It wasn't even the fact that she was a villain in her own story. It was more so I favorite this person over this person, and so I'm going to make it so that my person's a victim and this person is a villain, when it wasn't that wasn't the storyline. And so it's interesting
No.
because Triple H, he always says like, "Oh, I don't care about the fans and what the fans want and da da da," but he is consistently giving the fans what they want, whether it's like, I'm giving this specific wrestler these opportunities, or I'm going to let them win or whatever, because it's bringing us business, it's making us money. So the fans are still in control of the storyline. They are, because you are making it that way. Like, you are building it that way because it's going to sell tickets, and you want to make money. And I get it from the business standpoint. It's just interesting to me that he thinks that he's not doing it to, support, to give the fans what they want. Because if that was the case, the storylines would be much better and they would make sense. So
I almost want them to go back to how it was before. If you're gonna like put championships on people, make them defend it either every week or every pay-per-view. We don't see that anymore. I feel like everything, like you said, like people pick their favorites. We're going to put, gold on them, and we're going to run with it.
Well, you know what's going to happen? It's going to be the Charlotte effect eventually. People loved Charlotte. That was the favorite for 10 years or so. Yeah. And then all of a sudden they turned on Charlotte. She got injured, spent a whole year recovering, came back, was the hero in her own story, and they turned on her. And it's because, people grew tired. They became fatigued with the same story over and over and over again. And eventually that causes even casual fans to turn. So I feel like that is a possibility for certain people that, are consistently getting those opportunities, even though it's not fitting the storylines. I've seen that turn starting already. So, we gotta be careful. No names, but I think personally the women's wrestling on WWE is dying in a way where it's becoming more about what's trending, what's viral, instead of what makes a good storyline and how can we build long-term fans, wrestling fans of all of our wrestlers, not just like a few handpicked ones.
I agree. Like, you have all this talent, use your talent to every ability that you can, whether it's putting them in a faction together, whether it's putting them in a storyline against each other. Like, they could have done so much with Casey and Kaden. They could have done so much with Dakota. Like, they could have done so much with everybody that was released. But again, it goes off of my thought process from the very beginning of this whole thing when TKO did buy the company. And I'm sorry, but ever since that company bought WWE, it's now focused on,
money.
The forefront. Who's going to make us the most money right now?
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. This is Jazz Unfiltered. Thank you, Canary, for joining. Go watch her channel. I think it's Canary's Corner, right? Canary's Corner.
I'm using my phone right now, so I would look, but I think it's Canary's Corner, on YouTube. If it's wrong, I'll just send it to her.
No worries. I believe it's Canary's Corner, so I'll tag that in my description below. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.